Hey, what's up guys? This is Hoodie Allen here. Thanks for watching and joining me for my Ask Anything chat. Thank you Saturday Night Online for having me. Thank you Romeo, I appreciate it. Let's just get into some questions. Hopefully there's some good ones here and I'll hit you with some good answers. Let's go. Suki from Sterling asked me, overall, what has been your favorite song that you've ever made? That's a super hard question to start off with. Well, you know, in some ways I have to say a song I did called No Interruption, because it really sort of, you know, brought a lot of new fans in, and I'm really grateful for the success of that song, and I always have really an amazing time playing it every night. It's never gotten old to me, so for all those reasons, let's just go with No Interruption as my favorite song to date. Saluna from Phoenix, I hope I didn't butcher your name. Saluna from Phoenix asks, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Cinnamon Toast Crunch sometimes some cereal. If I can find a good bacon, egg, and cheese, I'll be super happy. Those are three great choices. You can't go wrong with any of those. So if you're looking for good breakfast ideas, I just nailed it for you. Maddie from Toronto says, what do you think your most underrated song is? Well, if I say it, Maddie, then it's not going to be really underrated anymore. But on the new album that I just put out, one of my favorite songs is a song called Get It on the Low, and I don't know if I don't know how popular it is in regards to the rest of the songs, but that's one of my favorites. I think it's a little bit underrated, so I'm going to go with Get It on the Low. Sloan from Castle Rock says, what has been your weirdest experience while on tour? Well, you know, this is a family-friendly chat, so I'm gonna try to think of a PG answer for this. I think one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had personally is just like being in a hotel room and someone else like finds out where what your hotel room is, and they like come and they knock on the door, like I guess that's a little bit weird because I had never experienced any of that before, where like someone figures out exactly where you're staying and then they attack you with their love. Okay, next question. Jirelli from Los Angeles asks, what do you love the most about your fans? For me personally, the thing I love the most is that everyone I meet is always so genuine and so appreciative and so happy to, whether it's at a show, they're just so happy to be there and so happy to meet me, and like their positivity just makes me want to give back to them. So that's my favorite part. Also, you guys are just awesome in general, so thank you if you're a fan, and if you're not a fan, why are you even watching this? Alright, Jessica from Ottawa says, what is your most prized possession? I don't know if I have anything really specific. I guess I have one necklace that I used to wear like every single day, and that was a pretty prized possession, but nothing crazy. Just, I guess the ability to do this is my most prized possession. The fans. Corny. Alright, Angela from Hacienda Heights says, if you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be? I already have been so lucky to be able to collaborate with some of my favorite artists like Ed Sheeran and Max Schneider, and if there's anyone else I would want to collaborate with, Nas, J. Cole, Justin Timberlake. On the production side, Pharrell, Mark Ronson, any of those would be amazing. So, yeah. Natalie from San Angelo says, is there anything that you're really bad at? I'm really bad at golf. I'm not good at golf at all. And pool. I really suck at pool. And talking to ladies. Those are the three bad things. Let's see, Farrah from Seattle says, is there a dish your mom cooks that you miss the most on tour? Well, I miss my mom's cooking in general because she's the bomb, and being on tour definitely highlights missing that. She does this really good, like, oh man, like chicken meatball dish. I don't know, my mom's a great cook, so shout out to my mom. I just miss her food in general. I can't pick one thing, but yeah, she's good. Pastas are great too. Tony from Freeport says, how do you get your inspiration for writing music? I think the easiest way to get inspired really is to make sure to continue living life and not only live in a studio. So I draw most of my inspirations and influences just from relationships or things that are going on in my life. I try to write mostly from a current perspective, for most of the time. And yeah, I think I also let the music inspire me, so I think it's always really important to collaborate with the producers and be in the room together while writing a song, rather than just getting a beat over email or something like that. That's for the most part lent me, some of my better songs. Aiden from Denver says, I've never been to one of your shows before. What should I expect? You should expect to have an absolutely great time. It is not like a typical rap show. We try to put on like a full-fledged rock, punk, pop concert, confetti, CO2, lights, energy, full band, craziness. I might throw cake at you. I might crowd surf on your face. You might sing along and lose your voice. Anything could happen. It's a very, very fun tour. I'm not very, I don't usually say like, give myself any compliments, but I think if there's one thing I'd give a compliment is that I really think that kids go to the shows and they have, a really memorable night. So, be excited. Chris from Waldorf says, what song from the album was the hardest one to write? Probably the closer on the album, Against Me. That's probably the one I'm most proud of, and it was written from a very real storytelling perspective. Just wanted to sort of pour my heart out there and talk about, the feeling of feeling your back's against the wall and like there's something trying to get in the way of you moving forward and growing, and just like how you deal with the stress of that. So that's one of my favorite songs from the album. Sophie from Minneapolis says, what has been your favorite tour that you've done so far? Well, this one that I'm on now, hoodieon.com/tour, if you want to get tickets. This one's been amazing. It's been an awesome tour. I really liked the tour before this, too, because we did something special, and we did a whole meet and greet tour where it was only like 500 kids per city, and I met every single person who came to the show, and it was kind of special to be able to take a picture with every single person before performing. It was like, I don't know, the energy was really, really crazy. So between this one and that one, I think those are my favorite two tours. Hannah from Cheyenne says, what was your biggest obstacle in the making of People Keep Talking? I think my biggest obstacle was letting it be finished and deciding that like it was officially done, because when you're making an album, it's sort of, you can go forever. It's like there's no real end point. So for me, it was about being able to step away and say, okay, this is a finished product, and letting you guys hear it, and that was a difficult thing for me to do. Thanks for your question. Sarah from Dallas, who was your favorite artist growing up? I don't know, artist, band. I really, really love Blink-182, and I own like every Dude Ranch, Enema of the State, Cheshire Cat, like all the albums. Even what was that live album, the Mark, Tom, and Travis show? Yeah, that's a great one. Hilarious. So I think Blink could probably qualify as one of my favorite bands, artists growing up. Libby from the UK says, how did your family react when you told them that you wanted to leave Google and become a music artist? For people who don't know, before I started doing music full time, I actually worked at Google. So they were surprised. I mean, they were probably a little bit nervous for me, but the good thing is that my family's always trusted me to make the right decisions. I've given them reasons to trust me, and they said, if you believe in it, go for it, and I did. And so far, it has worked out, and I'm very thankful for that. And it's sort of why I try to encourage people to do things that are a little bit unconventional, because if you only listen to the people in your life who think you should do things a certain way, you might miss out on a lot of great opportunities. Jesse from Wilmington asks, what advice would you give to those chasing their dreams just like you did? Honestly, the best advice that I can give is just to work your butt off and make sure that you're the hardest working person that you know, and that and while doing that you're happy with what you're making, because if it ever becomes a job to you, you lose the fun, you lose the passion. So don't lose the passion. Stay motivated. Work hard. Don't leave anything to chance. Don't not get somewhere because you didn't work hard enough. Just push the extra mile, and you'll be better off for it. Marina from Chicago says, what is your favorite city to perform at? Marina, of course, Chicago. No, honestly, Chicago is great, though. It's really hard to pick a favorite city. I honestly, on these tours, it's like every city is amazing. It's much easier to pick a least favorite city. Do you want to know what my least favorite city is? I can't tell you that. You can take a guess though. Somewhere, no one will know. No one's gonna know. No, I'm not telling you. I'm just gonna move on. I love everything. No favorites, no unfavorites. Haley from Riverdale says, "What's the best advice you've ever received?" I didn't receive this advice personally, but I remember reading it or watching an interview or something that it was like of John Mayer, and he was like, never give up on a song, like never like start halfway on a song and then just like finish and not do it. So I always take that into consideration, and I always try to finish all the ideas that I have, because you never know what they're going to turn into. And I think that was really great advice, and he's a great songwriter and obviously knows what he's doing. So that's some pretty good advice from John Mayer. Leah from Roanoke says, "What's your favorite song off of People Keep Talking?" I don't really have like a favorite because they're all my babies, but like Won't Mind, All About It, Against Me. It's probably top 3 that I listen to maybe. I don't know. What's your favorite song, Leah? Let me know, Leah. Hit me back on Twitter or something. Darlene from Bell, or Belly? I think it's Bell, says, "What is your favorite thing to do when you have some downtime while touring?" We just had an off day. We went bowling. We saw a movie, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was great. I smoked everybody in bowling because I got skills. That's a pretty ideal day for me. I like doing both those things. I love movies. I like being competitive and playing games. I like bowling. So if you see me in your city, let's go bowling sometime. Okay, Jenna from Riverside said, "Was there ever a time starting your career that you lost faith in yourself or your dream?" Jenna, yeah, totally. I mean, that's completely normal. I think even like nowadays, there are times when you'll have like high confidence about something or low confidence about something, and that's just human, you know. So as long as you're doing, you know, what you love, and you remember your motivation for doing it in the first place, there's no reason to lose faith in that, because you got to do things that motivate you and make you happy. So for me, writing music, creating something from scratch, I love doing it, and it allows me to just be super, you know, happy with my career choices. Kayla from Northville says, "How did you get the idea for the end of People Keep Talking?" For the end of People Keep Talking, I'm guessing she just means the theme in general and how it goes through. You know, the whole concept of it really came up with just me trying to think about what my story has been, and as a proper debut album, what I wanted to communicate to people. And I think the most interesting and most relatable thing about what I did is that I've taken a big risk to get to this point today, and I've steered off a path that most people might find really crazy or unconventional to do. I wanted to highlight that there are pressures that come with that. There are people who give their opinions, and especially nowadays on a larger scale with social media and just how flat the world is, everybody can always weigh in on the decisions you make, always have opinion on it. And I really wanted to make a project that discussed that and talked about keeping your own voice amongst everyone else's voice. So that's sort of why we weave in the voicemails and why we weave in just some of the themes in the album, and hopefully you enjoy it and you dig it. Allie from Louisville says, "What is your favorite midnight snack?" Yo, I love cookies. Give me cookies, I'll be happy. Chocolate chip cookies or like Easy mac and cheese. Can't go wrong with either of those. If you're trying to bring me a snack, Allie, just let me know. Jess from Australia says, "What would be the theme song for your life?" Probably like Coolio's Gangsta Paradise, because I'm spending most of my life living in a gangsta paradise. Kath from Del Mar says, "What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor?" I thought it was cinnamon, like the cinnamon apple one, or just the cinnamon sugar one. But then yesterday, I had like the strawberry one. It was awesome. I guess both. I guess it's a tie. I don't know which one. Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose, Kath. Max from New York City, my home, says, "If you could have one superpower, what would it be?" I think it would have to be the ability to fly. I think that'd just be great. Also, if you got in an awkward situation, you wanted to leave, you could just fly away from people. That would be great. Very convenient. So let's go fly sometime, Max. Zoe from New Palestine says, I hope I pronounced that right, what do you like most about making music? I really just, two things. I like taking something from zero and creating a product out of it. So I really like the idea that we start from nothing in a room together with an idea, and then at the end of the day it becomes a song, and then that song becomes something that you might memorize the lyrics to or sing along to. I think that's a really crazy concept and something that never gets old for me. So that's my favorite thing about making new music. Grace from Calgary, last question. She says, when you made the transition to do music full time, did it feel like the right choice immediately, or did it take time to really feel like a good choice? That's a good question. I don't exactly remember the feeling. I remember it was a bit scary. I remember feeling really strong about it. When I took that leap, I felt confident in what I was doing, and I felt like we were heading to a place that was going to be, I don't know, like a fun adventure and full of a lot of surprises. And I was happy to be able to devote all my time there. But at the same time, you know, there's always going to be that insecurity of like, what happens a year from that day? Where will we be? So I think if you're in a similar place, it's normal to have, you know, feelings of wavering on either side. So just be confident in the long run. Everything will work out. Just work hard. That's everything. Thanks again for sending in your Ask Anything questions. Thank you, Saturday Night Online. Thank you, Romeo. I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to do this. And these questions are great. And if I didn't answer your question, just hit me up on Twitter, @HoodieAllen. There's a good chance I'll answer it either way. Thanks again, guys. Bye.